Well, I'll say this. We'll probably get to this, but I'm curating the first museum show on art and professional wrestling in 2027 in St. Petersburg, Florida, at the MFA. And one of the things that I've really had to determine um, when thinking about like what counts in terms of pro wrestling, like if it's art about wrestling, yes, because it's a museum. That's the point. Um, if it's thinking about like performance, documentation, etc., there are different levels of wrestling presentation. There are some that I believe that are essentially they use wrestling as a pastiche, but I don't necessarily consider to be professional wrestling, like chokehold, for example. Um, there are some things that fall within the middle, um, like Lucha Vavum in LA, for example, which uses real, super talented wrestlers, but the wrestling is kind of almost background to like stand-up comedy and burlesque and is shown on a stage. And then Sukiban um, is, I think, the most interesting of those kind of hybrid products because they have super talented, Japanese women's pro wrestlers. They have an all Japanese crew. Um, but they're also integrating elements of art, fashion, popular music, etc. Um, and every time they run a show, whether it's at a comic convention in LA or at Art Basel Miami Beach last week, like the fans eat it up, and they're not wrestling fans.